Hello, so today I'm on my yoga mat and I'll be running through a 45-minute class that works both on flexibility and strength with some calisthenic exercises in there as well. I hope you enjoy it. So we begin in child's pose with our arms extended out in front of us and our knees wide apart. We're going to be focusing on our breathing, inhaling and exhaling long breaths as we find this position. Try to get your bum to touch your heels and your arms to be stretched out in front of you. We are going to be holding this position for around about a minute, so get comfortable and relax, just focusing on your breathing. So now we're going to go into a side stretch. So walk both hands over to the right side of your mat, and if you wish, stack your hands over each other in a webbed position. You should feel a good side stretch, especially across your ribs. Remember to still keep your focus on your breathing, even though we are in a side position. Now walk your hands over to the left side, stretching your other side out. Once again, you can stack your hands as we did before. Keep your focus on your breathing whilst we're in this position, inhaling and exhaling deep, long breaths. Now walk your hands back to the central position, stretching out once again back into our extended child's pose position. Now prepare to come forwards, putting weight into your hands and knees for tabletop position and to do cat and cow. So first of all, doing cat, curving your back, inhaling as we look up, and then cow pose, arching our back and exhaling. Repeating this several times at the speed of your own breathing. So last couple now. Once you find central position, then you're going to be rocking forwards and backwards in your tabletop position, just stretching out your hips, your shoulders, preparing your wrists for the later part of the session. Now find your tabletop position. Once again, stretching out your left leg, pushing back into your toes, forwards and back, stretching out your calf. Now lift your leg up and your right arm forwards for a balanced position. Holding and breathing here. Now connect your elbow and knee together and then stretch out. So inhale as you touch your elbow and knee together. Exhale as you go back out. One last time. Inhale. Exhale. Now look to grab your foot if possible, otherwise hold the position as you did before. If you've got your foot, you should be stretching your quadriceps out here, as well as your shoulders. Now I'll come back to the balance position and back to tabletop position for the other side. Stretch your right foot out, pushing back and forth into the calf. Now lift the right leg off the ground and put the left arm off the ground as well for your opposite side balance. Breathing here. Now elbow to knee connection, inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, one more. Inhale and exhale. Now to grab your foot with your hand, stretching out your quadricep and your shoulders. Once you're ready, go back to tabletop position through the balance. Now we're going to thread the needle, so lifting your left arm up into the air and hovering your shoulder through and then lifting back up again. Inhaling and then exhaling. One more. Inhale, exhale, and now resting your shoulder onto the ground, resting the side of your head on the ground, and you can stretch out your right arm forwards for an extra shoulder stretch. Try to keep the breathing here even in this twisted position. Now bring your right hand back to push off and lift your left arm all the way up into the air, and then go back to your tabletop position for the other side. So right arm up in the air and thread through, hovering shoulder, and inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale, resting your shoulder and the side of your head onto the floor. Once again with the option of stretching out your left shoulder by walking your hand forwards. Now when you're ready, walking the left arm back to push and unthread the position, right arm into the air before returning back to tabletop position. Now preparing for our first downward dog, tucking our toes and pushing our bum into the air for a tripod position. You can bend your knees as much as you like from here and move in any way that makes you feel more comfortable, possibly pedaling out your feet, so one heel going to the ground and then the other heel going to the ground, whatever makes you most comfortable from this position. This is a fundamental position in yoga and stretches off a lot of your body. Just remember to breathe from here and retain that deep exhale and inhale. When you're ready, walk your feet to the top of the mat, hip width apart, and get into a ragdoll position, grabbing opposite elbows and swaying slightly side to side. You can bend your knees as much as you like from this position. Remember to relax your neck in this position and to get deep into the stretch. Once you're ready, grab your inner parts of your big toe, inhale for a flat back, and exhale to bend deeper into the stretch. If possible, try to straighten your legs out as much as possible. If not, keeping your knees bent is absolutely fine. When you're ready, start to release your big toes and look to slide your hands underneath your feet, palms facing up. Inhale for flat back and exhale to bend over. This stretch will get deeper and may require you to bend your knees as I am doing. This is no problem. It should be quite relieving for your wrists, being able to move over them. Now begin to release your hands and slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra. Last thing coming up being your shoulders and head. Once you get to the top, look up, connect your palms together and back to heart center. Repeat this process, looking up, and now doing a side stretch to the right, then coming back to center, and side stretch to the left, coming back to center, and then bending your elbows and back for a back stretch before bending forwards again into our forward fold position. Inhaling for flat back, exhaling to go back down into plank position, walking our feet back and holding this position for a few moments to catch our breathing. Hold this position using core strength, not allowing your hips to flop downwards. Only a few more moments here. And then slowly come down to the floor and mini Cobra up, lifting your hands off the mat. Come back down again and then back up for 2 more. Arching your back, lifting your hands off the ground. Back down. Last one. Inhale, lifting the palms off the ground. Exhale, come back down. Then move into downward dog, either through a plank or tabletop position. Adjusting your downward dog so your bum sticks up into the tripod position. Now lift your left leg into the air and open your hip and bend your knee, looking through to the left side. Now kick your left leg between your hands, releasing your back knee to the floor and lifting your hands up, palms touching together, looking up into the sky. Now palms come to heart center and your right elbow crosses over your left knee for a side twist, either looking back or to the side. Now place both hands to the ground and then walk back, stretching out your hamstrings and sitting on your right heel. Try to fold forward as much as you can from here whilst breathing deeply into your hamstrings. Walk your hands forwards back into your low lunge position and then kick your left leg back into the plank by tucking your right toes and come down slowly to the ground for a mini Cobra, lifting up, inhaling, then exhaling, and into downward dog through plank or tabletop position. Preparing for the other side. Lifting your right leg up into the air, bending your knee, opening your hip out and looking to the right. Now kick that leg through between your hands, lowering your back knee and lifting up, palms together, looking to the sky. palms come back to heart center. This time your left elbow crosses over your right knee, twisting to the side. Try to keep your palms central to your chest as you do this twist. Now both hands come back to the mat, walking hands back, sitting your bum onto your left heel and folding forward as much as you can for a deep hamstring stretch on the right side. When you're ready, walk your hands forwards, tucking your back toe, go into plank position, and slowly, keeping your elbows tight, come back to the floor. Cobra, lifting your chest, keeping your shoulders away from your neck. Come back down and through to downward dog position. Breathing deeply from here. Now, bend your knees, looking forwards. Jump into a squat position, your yoga squat. Your palms together and elbows pressing against your knees. Now getting ready to twist, placing your left palm out to the side and your right arm twisting up into the air, looking behind you. If you can and want to, bind by grabbing your hands together around your knee. Now back to central position. The other side, right hand comes to the ground, left hand twists out to the side. If you want, once again, you can grab a bind by grabbing your hands together. Unbind if you have, come back to central position, and now fold forwards, putting your feet together and looking up to the sky, palms together, bending over to the right, coming back to center, bending over to your left, coming back to center, and then bending your elbows, bending backwards, looking up to the sky before folding back forwards again. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, jump back to plank if you want, or walk your feet back, holding this position before coming down and through to our upward dog with our knees off the ground this time, arms straight. Now come to downward dog position, lifting our left leg off the ground and bringing your left knee to your nose and then back. 2 more times. Nose and back. Last one. Touch your nose if you can and come back. And now placing your left foot between your hands and coming up to our high lunge position. Holding here, breathing, inhaling and exhaling, keeping your focus. Now turn to the side to warrior 2, arms parallel to the floor, back foot 45 degrees, bending our front knee. Once again, retain your focus in this position before going to a reverse warrior. Right hand goes to our back leg and then back to our low lunge and twisting by lifting our left arm up into the air. Now into our side plank position, keeping our right hand on the ground, left leg stacks on top of our right leg, keeping our hips high. Now move our left arm forwards to the side, and then left elbow to left knee. 1, and then 2. Bit of core strength here. Last 1, 3. Then come back to plank position before lowering down, Chaturanga to upward dog. Remembering to keep our knees off the ground if possible. Back to our downward dog position. Right leg comes up into the air. Right knee to nose, back. 2 more times. Knee to nose, back. Knee to nose, back. And stepping our right foot between our hands and into our high lunge position. Remembering to breathe and keep our focus. Now into Warrior 2, facing the side, arms parallel to the ground. Hold this position, making sure there's a good bend to your front knee. Now reverse warrior, flipping the palm back, placing your left arm on the back leg before coming down to low lunge and into our twist, right arm in the air. And now preparing for our side plank position, right leg stacks on top of the left leg. And left arm will come forwards and elbow to knee 3 times. It's 1, 2, nice and controlled, 3, working our core into plank position, down through Chaturanga to upward dog, and then of course into our downward dog. Now looking forwards, jump back into our yoga squat position, palms together, elbows pushing our knees out to the side. Stay here if you wish, otherwise prepare for crow, knees behind, elbows, lifting 1 foot off the ground, both feet off the ground, holding here. If not in squat position, you can jump back if you wish into Chaturanga, otherwise work your way back to this position and we'll all meet in downward dog. Now left leg into the air, placing the foot between your hands. Now coming into our half split position, right foot off the ground, and through into our tree pose with our foot either on our lower leg or upper leg, avoiding our knee. Palms together. You're going to take around about 10 breaths from this position, so retain your focus in this balance and keep breathing. Now prepare for your aeroplane pose, taking your right foot off your leg and straightening it back behind you, keeping your arms next to your body, engaging your triceps. Lightly place your foot back into high lunge position. Breathe from here, retain your focus. Into Warrior 2. Now into 5-star, so both feet pointing out, arms out, and then into our squat position. So preparing for a shoulder stretch, both hands onto our knees, looking over and turning to the right, then turning to our left, back to center, palms together, up to 5-star, into warrior 2, reverse your warrior, flipping your palm, down to low lunge position, high plank, Chaturanga into upward dog, keeping knees off the ground if possible, and back into our downward dog. Now preparing for the other side, right leg in the air, placing the foot between your hands and into our half split position, lifting our left foot off the ground, bending forwards. Now coming through and up into tree pose, foot either on our thigh or calf, avoiding the knee, palms coming together. Focus on your breathing from this position, holding this for around about 10 breaths. Now preparing for aeroplane pose, kicking your left foot back, engaging your triceps at the sides of your body. Holding this position before slowly lowering down into high lunge position. Now into warrior 2, making sure that the front knee is bending. Into 5-star position, squat and hold this position. Now lift your right heel off the ground, left heel off the ground, both down, and then both heels off the ground, holding this. Heels back to the ground, up to 5-star, warrior 2, reverse warrior, low lunge, high plank. Lowering down, Chaturanga to upward dog, and then back to downward dog position. Come forwards into plank, and then we're going to stretch out into long plank position, hands slightly in front of our head, and we're going to do tricep extension, so dip your triceps down and up. It's number 3, 4, and 5. Now come back to plank position, and one right knee to the ground, left knee to the ground, right knee to the ground, and in your own time, repeating this process. Engaging our core. Now all the way down to the floor. Extend your left arm out to the side, right palm to the floor, and then twisting by lifting your right leg over the top, getting a deep stretch into your left shoulder. Now come back to central and do the other side, right arm out to the side, and then flipping your left leg over and back, stretching out your right shoulder. Come back to the center and press up into downward dog position. Once again, left leg into the air, place it between your palms, half splits position, and we're going to squat from here, so right knee to calf. Again, squat, right knee to calf. Once again, right knee to calf. If you want more of a challenge, take your hands off the mat onto your ankles, do the same thing. Last one. And come all the way up to tree pose as visited earlier. Palms together, focusing on a point if you need more balance, and otherwise focusing on our breathing. Now into aeroplane pose, kicking your right foot back. Softly land into high lunge position. Warrior 2. 5-star. Now line up your heels behind your toes and bend forwards into a splits position, stretching out our hamstrings. If you want a deeper hamstring stretch, it's better actually to move your feet towards each other than further apart. Try to put your hands aligned with your feet. Halfway lift up to 5-star. Warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Down to low lunge. Into plank. Chaturanga to upward dog. And back to downward dog. Other side. Right leg in the air. Place it between your hands. Half splits position. And doing our squats. So this time, left knee onto right calf. Squatting in your own pace. If you want more of a challenge, take both hands off the mat onto your ankle. Last one. Now into tree pose. Placing our hands together and finding our point of focus. Now preparing for aeroplane pose, kicking our left foot back behind us, holding this position before softly landing down into high lunge. Warrior 2. 5-star position. Then line your heels with your toes, bending forwards, aligning your hands with your feet if possible for a deeper stretch. Now halfway lift, up to 5-star. Warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Low lunge. High plank. into Chaturanga and upward dog, then back to our downward dog position. Now come forward into plank position. Prepare for scapular press-ups, so just opening and closing our scapula. 10 of these. Just pushing our chest forwards and backwards in our plank position. Working on our shoulder muscles for lowering down to the ground. Now spread your feet apart, arms apart, lifting legs and hands off the ground. Working on our back muscles here. Then lower down, resting our left cheek to the ground. Now prepare for bow pose, bending both knees and grabbing the ankles with your hands and lifting your chest and thighs off the ground if possible. This is a great quadricep stretch. Try to keep your knees as close together as possible. Now lower down onto your right cheek, resting here. Bring your feet together, palms together, and lift hands and feet off the ground for another back strengthener. Last one. And come back to the ground, tuck your toes, plank to downward dog. Stretching out here. Before jumping through, if possible, into our boat pose. Otherwise, find a boat pose position if this is not accessible. Low boat, high boat, low boat, high boat, working on the abdominals. Couple more. Do this in your own time. And now relax. Left leg outstretched, right leg comes in and grabbing your knee with your left hand and stretching sideways whilst keeping your left foot flexed for a good hamstring stretch. Should feel this on the side of your ribs. Now forward fold, both hands to your feet if possible, otherwise your shin or ankle. Remember to keep our deep breathing before moving into our next position, placing our hand behind us and stretching up and out. Return to the same position. Now cross your right foot over your left leg and fling that left leg in to your bum. Left elbow goes over your right knee and twist. Now, if you can, go for the bind. Otherwise, just stay in the previous position. Unwind and swap over. So right leg out straight, left leg in, grabbing your knee with your right hand and going for a side stretch, feeling it on our left ribs now, keeping your foot flexed on the right leg. Now into our forward fold, so both hands on either our shin, ankle or foot, and bending forwards, feeling this in our hamstrings. Keep breathing from here, then prepare to come out, left hand behind you, pushing your hips forwards and stretching out, then returning back to the previous position, crossing our left foot over our right leg, flinging our right leg inwards, and now our right elbow goes over our left knee for the twist and possible bind position. Unwind from this position and make your way to your back, preparing for your bridges. So your feet should be arms distance away from you, touching your heels with your hands, lifting your hips off the ground, and possibly for chest expansion, grasping your hands together and rolling your shoulders underneath you. Breathing deeply from this position. Now slowly come back to the ground, preparing for our second round of bridges. So now lift your hips off the ground, going for our chest expansion again if you wish to get a bit deeper. Now prepare to come down, slowly rolling your vertebra down and grabbing your knees into your chest, giving them a good squeeze, maybe a little side rock, before placing both your hands out to the side, palms facing up. Now both knees go to the left and gaze goes over to the right. If you want an extra deeper stretch, straighten your top leg and grab this with your hand. Hold this for another deep, long breath before releasing this twist and coming back to central position, and drop your knees to the right this time and looking over to the left. Once again, the option to straighten your top leg to get a deeper twist is available. Take one last long, deep breath before untwisting and grabbing your knees just for a final little rock side to side. And then releasing your legs out for your final pose, Shavasana, resting pose. I know it's tempting to avoid this, but please, if you have the time, lie down and relax here. It's great for your mind. Just let go.
If you want to now, you can stay here for as long as you like. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.